Hi guys! Welcome again to another Disney video. This is another video coming from comment section. Somebody left a question about what to do for their upcoming Disney trip. I have Rob here again with me today. Hi Rob.
Hi, I got the answer to this question. What to do with your Disney trip? Go. Go on their trip.
Yeah, go on your trip. So this question came from Ready Set Disney, who's going to Disney World for their first time next summer, and asked if we could do a video on park hopping and the water parks. So those are two very different things.
Yeah.
Though not necessarily, because some of park hopping ties into the water parks. But other than that, they're kind of two different topics. So I guess let's talk about the bigger one first, which is park hopping.
Okay.
So to preface this, when you buy your tickets at Disney World, you have the option of regular tickets and park hoppers. And regular tickets allow you entry to one park for the entire day. So you go to Magic Kingdom, you can only go to Magic Kingdom. You can leave and come back, but only to the Magic Kingdom. If you get a park hopper, which I think is something like $50 or $60 more on your ticket.
Yeah.
About
like 55.
Yeah. You can go to any other park in the same day. So you can start your morning in the Magic Kingdom and then go to Epcot. Or you can be a crazy person like I was on my last trip and go to 3 parks in one day if you want to, or 4 parks in one day if you have it in you. And if you want to do park hopper, I think it's like, and plus more, or like even more. I don't know what the actual package is called.
Water parks
and more.
Water
Yeah.
fun, and the naming conventions are changing all the time.
But basically, it's a little bit more money, and then you also get the 2 water parks included. So a lot of things to consider when you're first buying your ticket and what you want to do or don't want to do. But I think that's the big question, right? The big question people have who have never been before is, do I want to park hop?
Is it worth it? The answer is yes. First off, I think it's worth noting 2 things. One, that fee for park hopping is a flat fee. So if you have a 1-day pass, it's $50 to add park hopper. If you have a 5-day pass, it's $50 to add park hopper. So it doesn't get, incredibly more expensive when you have like a week-long vacation and you want to add park hopping. In fact, if you think about that, the longer your trip is, the cheaper, in a sense, park hopping gets, because that one fee applies to the whole trip. Other thing is, the question asker, Ready Set Disney, I don't know if they have a YouTube channel about Disney, but that's like the best name ever. Like, I regret my name being RobPlaysThatGame and not Ready Set Disney. That's awesome. But to the question, I am 100% in the camp of always get park hopper. Always. We're going for 2 days, you and I would get a park hopper.
Well,
just for,
I'm doing 4 days, really, but because I'm crazy.
Sorry. Park hopping is a very simple mental trick that, if you buy into it, like, makes your trip feel so much longer than it really is. Because what these parks do really well is immerse you into these different worlds, and to spend the morning in the Magic Kingdom, which itself has all these different worlds within it, and then to spend the evening in a different park. I can't count the number of days I've been at Disney ending a night in like Epcot or something, and I think back to the morning in Magic Kingdom, and it felt like the whole other day. It felt like yesterday. And I think just changing that setting and mixing things up makes it so much easier and nicer to enjoy the trip. So I'm like 100% firmly behind getting a park hopper.
Yeah. One of the things I like about it is you have the option. You can still spend like your whole day at Magic Kingdom, but like maybe you want dinner at Epcot, or like maybe you want to spend most of your day, as Rob wouldn't do, at the Animal Kingdom, but you want to catch the Star Wars fireworks that evening. Like, you don't have to feel obligated that you're always doing fully split days, but it's nice to just have that option of like, I can end up somewhere else if I want to. There's like that flexibility. I think the only time you wouldn't get a park hopper is, I mean, like you said, if you're only going for a couple of days and that $50 is, you're like, I don't know if that's worth it for me on top of that ticket price, then sure. I think if you are somebody who like you just really like doing that one park. Like I think some new people tend to do that a little bit more because I think they feel overwhelmed by the idea of park hopping. Like it seems like it would be much, though if you look at our transportation video, it's not that much. It's actually really easy to get around from park to park. But I can understand for maybe a first-timer trip wanting to just really immerse yourself in each park per day. And then I think it also has to do with like time, right? And this could go either way. Like I feel like if you don't have a lot of days, maybe you do want to get a park hopper because then you get to see a lot more in a short amount of time. But if you're staying for 4 days and you're like, well, there's 4 parks and I'm just going to kind of hit them individually, you know, that's a possibility. But it's like you said, like the cost isn't crazy enough to me to be like,
right,
whoa, like no, I can't do park hopping, you know. Just make sure you're gonna use it. Like it would suck to spend $55 and then you do find that you're spending like every day in a single park and then you're like, crap, like why did I even do that?
Yeah, I've been guilty of that too, where like we had a day where it felt natural to end up, we did a tour in Epcot and we had tickets to Illuminations and it just made no sense to go to another park. We were just gonna spend the whole, but like in the back of my mind, I was like, I have a park hopper. I need to go somewhere else. I just need to go to another park. But I had to force myself not to do that. I think it depends on the person too. You know, personally, I think for a first timer, it might be equally overwhelming to spend the full day in one park.
That's fair.
You know, I think there's something about going somewhere else and changing up your scenery, especially if it's a longer trip, being able to say, you know what, half a day at the Magic Kingdom is definitely not enough time to see everything, but it's enough time to get a lay of the land. It's enough time to do a few things and then also figure out what you want to do next time and then go pop into something else. And I think it also ends up being more useful because I do believe that Animal Kingdom's still a half-day park. I believe that right now Hollywood Studios is a half-day park because just so much is closed. And I think with having these half-day parks, it's important to have somewhere else to go because I can't imagine a full day at the Animal Kingdom. I can't imagine a full day at Hollywood Studios right now. So you need to go somewhere else if you've got a long trip.
And the funny thing is like with park hoppers, I might do 2 half days at Hollywood Studios. Like I might want to come back and do Tower of Terror, but like I'm not going to spend that one single day doing it like 5 times, you know? So I guess let's talk a little bit about water parks, and this is going to be me admitting that I have no experience with the water parks. As much as I've gone,
even American?
Actually, come to think of it, I don't know if I've ever been to a water park. Weird, right? As much as I've been to Disney World a ton, the water parks was just never a thing my family really did. Not because we didn't want to, but I think when we really weighed our time, we just liked the idea of spending more time in the parks. Or if we wanted to do water things, we would just go to the pool in the hotel. So maybe, Rob, you can possibly speak a little bit more because you've been to both, though I know it's been a while. But what do you think? Do you think it's worth the time? Do you have any tips on like when to get there and what to do?
If you're a big water park fan, then I guess obviously you're gonna want to do both. But otherwise, one will cut it. I'm more of a fan of Typhoon Lagoon, but maybe that's because I come from New York and like the idea of a water park set in the winter is like the worst idea ever for me. Like I don't want to imagine or pretend that I'm in a blizzard because I've lived through plenty of them already. It's funny. I went more as a kid. I don't go now. I don't plan to go to them when we book these trips because I think as you get older, what you want out of a water experience changes. Like now, I'm sort of like you. Like I'm cool just floating around in a pool. You know, we get drinks, hang out, just chill by the pool. And because of that, the more appealing parts of water parks to me are like they have the lazy rivers where you just get in a tube and you just float around this river that goes around the park. But if you're younger and you like the slides and stuff like that, obviously, you know, water parks are going to have what the hotel pools aren't. And if you have a longer trip, you know, it's a good idea to have something to break up the stress and the speed of hitting ride after ride after ride. So I do think that if you're doing like a 5-day trip, it might be worth, you know, whether you go to a water park or not, it's worth taking half a day or a day to just not go to a park and just relax and unwind and take a break. And a water park might be a good way of doing that. Like the parks themselves, I think a lot of the basic tips apply, you know, try and get there earlier because it's going to be less crowded. You know, I guess the biggest difference is while it's hottest in the noon hours, you are at a water park, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's been long enough that I don't have any like ride specific things. Just, you know, make sure you have everything you're going to need for that day. Make sure you got your sunscreen, because that's where it's going to count more than, you know, you're all exposed. You're in a bathing suit. Yep. Take a shower before you go. Take a shower after you get back. Bring a bathing suit. They probably won't like it if you don't have a bathing suit. Yeah. You show up naked. So bring one of those.
Good tip.
But if you're, yeah, it's going to boil down. If you're a fan of that sort of stuff, then yeah, I think these are probably some of the most fun water parks. Again, Disney's not the place where you're going to find the most extreme stuff. It's where you're going to find a lot of immersion, and you're going to find a lot of fun theming. And so, you know, Typhoon Lagoon is my favorite out of the two. And if I were going in a more summer month trip and I had a longer amount of time, I'd consider doing Typhoon Lagoon. And also, don't fit it in with like the rest of your daily plans. Like, work in time to get ready for the park and time to get ready to go back to the theme parks. Like, don't go change at Typhoon Lagoon and then go to Epcot smelling like chlorine. Yeah. Like, that's, or in a bathing suit or anything like that. Make sure you have time to go back to your hotel and get dressed and shower and everything before you hit the parks again.
It's a good tip.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, now I kind of want to go to the water parks because you kind of sold me on them. They can be fun.
Just do it. That's my tip for everything Disney now. Just do it.
Why not? Just do it. Just
experience it. Why not? It's Disney. Just do it.
That's it. This was a New York accent coming out there.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Actually, that's my advice for you and Stitch Straight Escape. Just do it.
Nope.
Will you ride it once if they decide that like they're gonna tear it down and put something else? Like, just to get that one ride, so you say you've done it.
Maybe.
Or like to commemorate that it's gonna be gone forever.
Maybe. I actually like that spin on it better.
That's what it's all about.
Yep. All right, well, thank you, Ready, Set, Disney, for your question. Hopefully we answered it pretty well. Yep. There's a lot of other great resources for, like, utilizing park hopping. I'm thinking of a couple right now, so I will put their links in my description so you can go dig deeper if you want to. And thank you everyone else for watching another video. If you have a question about an upcoming Disney World trip you want to throw our way, you can do so in the comments below, or you can tweet us. I'm at IvyWinterYT. And Rob?
I'm at RobPlays. One more thing I wanted to throw in there about the park hopping that I just realized is you can use it to expand your trip length, because if you're staying on property and you have an extra magic hour morning, or like it's the summer and like Magic Kingdom might stay open to 11, park hopping could expand like the total amount of hours you're in the park. So another reason.
You're just super pro park hopping over here.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, well, thank you for tuning in to another video, and thanks, Rob, for being a part of another video. And I hope you guys all have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.